Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to take this opportunity and welcome you to the first uh, Poetry Slam Africa preliminary round of 2021. I hope all of you are well. We apologize for the slight delay, but the contestants are ready. I know you have been ready. I go by the name of Roger. I will be the host of the evening. I would like to take this opportunity for those of you who are not aware of the full list of the contestants. We have 9 contestants today who will be vying it out to qualify for the Grand Slam happening at the end of the year. I'm sure they are excited. There will be 3 rounds. Um, After each round, a number of contestants sadly will have to get kicked out, and those who go on to the final round battle it out, and we crown our first winner for the first preliminary round. The contestants for the day, I would like to start off with. I will introduce them, give you a short description of who they are, what they do aside from poetry, what kind of poetry they do, move on to the next. And then after I have introduced all of our contestants for the day, we will start the show. So the first contestant of the day is called Alexis Mshairi. He is a Kenyan-born poet, a provoker of consciousness, and an enhancer of awareness. He is a psychology student at Kenyatta University, as well as a smashing MC. Those are his words, but I'm sure you guys will get to experience all of his, talent today. He has hosted shows like Art for Charity, which is a nonprofit platform designed for artists to showcase their art network as well as help those in need. He has been featured on a number of shows, Surah, As African as I Am, Motivated, Poetry After Lunch, and has appeared on programs on TV like Talanta Mtaani, which is broadcasted on KTN or Triple P TV. He has also appeared on KTN Life and Style, which is a TV program that guest stars upcoming artists each week. He has also made an appearance on Homeboys Radio, so that's really awesome. Currently, aside from poetry, he runs an annual youth poetry showcase called Read My Lips, occasionally in his hometown in Machakos. He is the event manager and coordinator for a Finky, which is an organization for writers and poets, which he co founded himself in November 2019. So that is Lexus Mshairi. I hope you guys are giving him a round of applause wherever you are. Next on the list is Wairimu Karen, though she prefers to go by the name of Wairimu. She is a writer for whom writing has always been a platform to express her thoughts, emotions, and a means for her creativity to flow. Now, she states that writing is the bus that I use to take my readers for exciting road trips into my mind. That sounds lovely. Another contestant is Connie Mumo. She is a budding 21st century, 23-year-old African creative and a page poet. She is passionate about telling meaningful, necessary, and lasting stories through honest, authentic art. She believes in the power of words. She uses her platforms to share inspiring and uplifting words to explore further the issues of identity, purpose, and faith. When not writing, she enjoys dancing and creating moving choreography, an art form she loves and pursues with equal passion and devotion. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Connie Mumo. Other contestants we have is Akinyi, Poetic Will, Ashley Mushaninga from Zimbabwe, and Chioniso Tsisikai from Zimbabwe. I know I've butchered names, but guys, you can hear them. But hopefully, by the of the preliminary round, I will have gotten their names. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the wonderful, amazing poets who will be having today. Without further ado, I would like to kick off the first round of the Poetry Slam Africa first preliminary round. And who will it be? Drum roll, please. Uh, let's go with Lexus. Let's go with Lexus Mshairi. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kings and queens, the first poet of the first preliminary round of the day. Please put your hands together for Mr. Lexus Mshairi.
Mama niombe nisiive, gava inachukia kompe, nimepewa sauti nisijikompe, nitoke nyuma nitembe hadi mbele kuongoza revolution nata wakitutu wanadai kututu, who are before to become tusha become. Hakuna mambo haram, ni simu zetu, hashtag tubadilishe vile kunakaa, speaking love kwa hizi mitaa vile inafaa. Mali nimekaa ni juu ya Everest, najaribu kubalance chi Sandman anajaribu kuchanganya my vision, lakini nishapata sababu ile dhahabu imezikwa ndani ya upendo, lakini mali mwili wangu hupo ni kwa magendo. Binadamu wanapunguzwa tu nambari zimeandikwa kwa ngozi, juu ya boga wa vitoza machozi. Unapata hawaoni mbele, hawa raia hawajui sheria, na kama basi si kikamili, pili nitarudia hili. Utumwa uishi ndani ya akili, hinje ni soko, watu wazima na watoto ni habits. Kupeana sehemu zao za uhuru zibadilishwe na sigara. Chimba deep kwa iskal kama umelala, tuweze kufahimu amri ya 48 za uongozi. Na kuna vile pia hao viongozi washageuka masadist. Bwana laheri, na ni ushuru yangu imewaika pale, lakini itawahusu kweli nikiwaambia ukweli vile hii kukosa kitu edible ya kuweka kwa mandible, huku ghetto inatupeana fikra za kwa makadibol. Tulipata C, tulipata B, wakatu promise education ndio key, watoto wao basi sisi wenye degree already tuko CRP. Ni nini hii kasi uongozi mbaya? Kila day madeni wanazidi kuzisaya, alafu wanasema wananchi wa kawaida ndio wanafaa kulipa madeni haya. Ni kwa nini maji inatumika kudecorate capital city wakati watu wengine wanakufa na kiu? Few wana survive, wanabaki kwa ring na demons zao. Wewe niambie, niaje utafurahia kusummon death na ujaishi? Kwanza wakati kuishi kunahitaji kuachiliwa kwa ndoto. Dream imeshikwa captive na system. Leaders wakihitaji procedures mingi ndio watu wafikie hutu. Nikitoka kwa hii state ya mtu narudi nikiandika kitu. Tafsiri ya maneno ya Kimathi. Hawa viongozi wanatupora ardhi akiba. Waliofaa kutulinda ndio wanahiba. Na sio mali tu, pia hata dignity ya wasichana wetu. Amatla wewe demos kratos power to the people, seek for the uhuru. Mind ni barracks zimeshikilia statue of liberty, gunfire tuki-exchange na apathy, musical gods ndio gorilla kupiga warlords. Oya karao bana, mbona unaleta bunduki kwa vita ya amani?
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, that was Lexus Lady. Round of applause for him wherever you are watching us from. I can see we're getting more and more viewers. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, your neighbors. This is the first preliminary rounds Poetry Slam Africa. Moving on straight ahead, we will be having Poetic Will. So I hope he is ready to showcase what he has for us today. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Poetic Will.
Mchinje, muue, mkate, mchinje, muue, mkate, mchinje, muue. God, the last time nilikuandikia barua sikumbuki ukinijibu. Jumbaka sahi naandamana na masaibu. Kwa nini? Nimemake mistakes in life, I know. Ndio maana jana nilikaa chini, niko na pad na pen ni write hizi wrongs na still time ina tick. Nimekuwa patient for a while, so sahi I'm just sick and tired. I'm sorry kama nimekulet down juu imeshuka imani, but ni kwa sababu kwa kichwa sina amani. Nimejaribu kuwa as real as I can be. Don't you see? Sasa tuongee basi wewe na mimi. Ile design ulikuwa unaongea na kina Adam na Eve this time nataka guarantee. Ona sahi karma ananichezea shere. Wewe yeye consequences za my past zinani haunt. Injustice nimefanya ni mob, so sahi niko kati ya mob justice. Mchinje, muue, mkate, mchinje, muue, mkate ndo nilikuwa na saka ni kwa meza, ndo at least watoe wangu adishi. Nikipiga hesabu vizuri na cheki hizi odds iko against me, so for sure nitajua leo ni mazishi. Fast backward kwa hii flashback, niko downtown na maboys wangu wa hood. Mini rookie kwa gang, and on the sides wananoa mapanga, mavisu na magans ziko loaded. Leo makarao hawata tunasa, juu sisi ndio kusema na kutenda, so tunataka kuputapa show kwa hizi streets. Na kwa hii show nataka kukushow vile mwanaume ni kaa siso. So ile time Calvo aliponiambia mwanaume ni effort, ilikuwa funny. Bado nilikuwa na Lord, niko katikati ya angels na demons wakini advice kama nitachukua hii blunt next. Nimeicheki puff moja mbili alafu nishakreki. At this point nikikwambia mama, haimanishi ni baba na haimanishi ni mama pia. Jana niko confused, steam zishanipanda, phone na ring. Ni mama. Son, uko wapi? Mtaa umechafuka. Word on the street nasema umeonekana na vijana wamejiami. Mida ni ya wanga, akrabu imestruck katikati ya leo na jana. So na hang up phone, ni hang out na maboys. Kwa hizi mishoni chances ni 50-50. So kichwani niko na maswali hanging. Nimevaa all black on top, niko na boshori, masked na half-faced bandana. You only talk to my eyes, and now I would kill to live. Instead tuna roam streets za mitaa, tukipatana kona mbaya elewa, si mimi ni njaa, so tuna trek, tuna roam, tuna wanda, hunting for anything yenye the serve plate. Tushatesa maili kadhaa na kwa giza naweza make figure shadow wave, so nishajua huyu ni mlevi na approach na malicious intentions, alafu figa na geuka 2, 3, 4 hivi, panic mode, crowd imegather, and we're back to where we started. Na contemplate consequences, panoramic scenes, Bessinari Talent Hospital bed ICU. I know you see me. I'm the good thief here. So sahi niko crucifixion Calvary na nikicheki kushoto, you left. It's the 11th hour. Niko kwa crowd but niko solo. Conscience imedetach from presence. Niko on my knees. Partly juu na summon the creator. Partly juu sina nguvu ya kustahimili. Na cheki blood visions za waja wakiwei. Mchinje, muue, mkate, mchinje, muue,
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Poetic Will. Give him a round of applause. I can see a few people are watching us live. I can see Sangoli. I can see Geoffrey Mbibi, Kikete, Laban Peace. Thank you so much for joining us. There's a lot to come, so don't go anywhere. Give Poetic Will a quick round of applause. Moving on swiftly, we shall have our next contestant, a lady this time. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please give a warm welcome to Just Waiting.
If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. If wishes were drugs, I would be perpetually high. Eyes closed, gliding through the sky, free from all the worries crippling my mind. I wish I had blocked you that day. That day when you slid into my DM saying, hey, hey, as if we just spoke in the previous day. Such a casual hey, as if 3 years is just 3 days. I wish I hadn't let you into my life. I knew that you would only cause me pain and agony and strife. But it's like I was 17 again, falling helplessly all over again. Remember how we had insane chemistry? Every time I saw you, I would light up like electricity, and the sparks would cause my heart to beat like a traditional African drum, awakening the butterflies in my stomach to dance to the rhythm of my heart's drum. Remember the late night conversations, how we talk about our dreams and ambitions, how you wanted to change the world and I would be right there with you. But then you left and it took me forever to get you out of my system. But then you had the audacity to come back and throw me off track. Now I am 17 all over again and the feelings for you have come flooding back, stripping away all the logic that I had, and now I am 17 again, falling helplessly all over again. You know, now I get anxiety when you don't text me back on time. It's now been 2 weeks, 3 days, 57 minutes since you texted me back. And I want to text you, but I am now falling and anxious. And you don't love me back. Now I am 17 again, feeling anxious, hoping for what to come back, longing for the boy I never had. Thank you.
Just waiting, ladies and gentlemen. Wasn't that just absolutely lovely? Now we shall tour Africa a little bit and see what the rest of the continent has to offer us. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Zimbabwe, please give a warm Kenyan welcome to Chioniso Tikisai. Ladies and gentlemen,
Sorry, I muted again. I hope you can hear me. Okay. Black photosynthesis. Deforestation isn't just the cutting down of trees, it's the cutting down of Black women's self esteem. It's when you turn us into pretty furniture for you to sit on, make textbooks out of our bodies, and then use our broken spines to bind them. It's when you pull us violently out of the earth we were so lovingly planted in by the roots of our natural hair and condition not only our curls, but our minds into believing we're not meant to be here. See, I'd like to think of Black women as trees. I'd like to think of us as brown leaves instead of green. I mean, weren't chlorophyll and melanin created to do the same thing, which is to absorb light? Therefore, we must be photosynthetic beings because our entire existence is the process of photosynthesis. We've taught ourselves how to combine the carbon dioxide of racism, sexism, slut shaming, whore naming, baptized it with the H2O of our tears, and created glucose and oxygen. No, you created more than glucose and oxygen. You created brown sugar, sweet, decadent, delicious like dark chocolate. Your presence is like a breath of fresh air. It's so hard to breathe when you're not there. Black photosynthesis is a Black girl's ability to make light out of darkness, to see the toxic elements in her environment and breathe life into the lifeless bodies that try to control her. Black photosynthesis is your superpower, sis. Nobody can steal it from you because it is your birthright. So the next time deforestation happens, I pray that you would plant seeds of hope in your daughters and sons. Let them see that they rise up, that they stand tall, and that if Black women are trees, then I guess it makes sense that we throw shade. How else can we protect ourselves from this heat, from this hell, from the scorching rays of discrimination? Black photosynthesis. Thank you.
Chioniso Tikisai, I really hope I got your name right. I really, really hope I hate butchering names, but anyway, that was all the way from Zimbabwe, Miss Chioniso Tikisai. I hope you guys are having a great time and you're enjoying the amazing poetry that's on Showcase today. Um, we move on to the next one, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Please give a warm welcome to Connie Momo, Miss Connie Momo, ladies and gentlemen.
If my ancestors were here, they would slap me silly. Talking about, child, what did you do to your hair? They would sit me down and massage my head, heavy with lies, as they tell me tales of how we wore our hair like crowns on our heads. We wore our hair to introduce ourselves without saying a word. Different roles in society determined our haircut's height or length, distinguishing tribes, age groups, social classes, marital status, or spiritual strength. I would swell with pride once they would show me how their cornrows were secret maps for my people, routes meant for escape. Like, how cool is that? When was the last time you decoded someone's hair or coded yours to say something like, I'm going east, follow me, or I'm going north, but it's not safe, so don't go with me? Don't get me started about how we hid gold and grain in our braids as a way to survive in a foreign land after being delivered from being the slaves of other men. I imagine how my forefathers would turn their backs on me and show me their diverse braidings, letting me touch their hair and feel into the red clay, animal fat, and natural oils that shaped their sculptures on their heads with their human hands. I would remain with a crown on my head where once stood an ill treated, underappreciated pile of follicle. I'm taking back my pride without asking nicely, because it wasn't meant to be taken in the first place. Whether it's served with heartfelt apologies for all the shaved heads, whipped backs, and mental damage, all the name calling and emotional damage. May our conversations today and tomorrow be seasoned with truth. I want my tongue to feel the aftertaste of a paradigm shift on the roof of my mouth when my children's children laugh with their children about how absurd some of the things we grew up with as norms sound like myths to them, detached from the thought that being black was ever a burden and not a blessing, that having ebony colored skin and nappy hair was anything short of glorious. I pray to live long enough to say goodbye to the wind of an old mentality that rocked our boats for so long. Stepping out of the boat has us walking on water, braving a storm that did not rage hard enough to wipe out our name. We are not lesser than or greater than. We are enough in every single way that we are ourselves. And so is everyone else.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Miss Connie Momo. I really hope you enjoyed that amazing piece. The judges are still tabulating the results as we proceed, so I hope you don't forget what this is all for. The winner of the first preliminary round gets an automatic qualification to the Grand Slam Festival happening later on this year. I am very, very excited to see who's going to take it. We shall traverse the continent once more and visit Zimbabwe once again. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kings and queens, please once again give a Kenyan welcome to Mr. Ashley Musha Ninga.
My piece is titled Grief and Memories. Lean in, feel your toes pressing hard on the top of the sole of your shoe. Heave with your shoulders, your back almost bent over, steadying in neutral lumbar spine alignment. Swing with your hips, your thighs planting your legs further backward, for your arms to push further forward. Your eyes closed, your mind melding with the rush of energy exploding in your body, syncopating to the racing march that crescendos into a drum roll. Just at that moment, fear hits your diaphragm, hard enough to land in your stomach. Desperation in your eyes. Your heart sinks backward, an obscenity loudly exclaimed in your mind. You are getting desperate. This wall won't budge. This wall won't budge. You fight the thoughts shot from the diaphragm. Oh, but your heart is defenseless from the onslaught of tight grip, and you feel the pause of a heartbeat. Your head falls between your arms in defeat. You hold onto that image of that person, but your mind retaliates by asking you why. You recognize that voice, and that's hopelessness. Beckoned, you raise your head, the trust in your love, your last bastion of hope. Oh, the tension grips your throat, a little gift packaged in the blissful thought of confronting your worst fear. Throat cleared, a shout shrills shyly out of your lips. Desire, like a fire, bellows brashly before any utterances can be prepared, muttering a name only you would call. But restless anticipation folds itself on your mind. Gleeful hope floods your heart. The person turns at the sound of your plea. Stoicism scoffs at your mimicry. You feel a stopped heartbeat, dread and realization snuff out the glimmer brought by your lost bastion, your rejection, your abandonment, the very moments together sung from their face and so vividly painted in their voice. Your hands slam and they smash on that great wall, mouth gaping wide, breaths narrow, gasps pronounced, tongue frantically rolling and slapping and scissor and gum. Your words are ignored. The wall becomes better defined. Silence floods your mind, being forced to accept that which you could not anymore, assured in the uncertainty, with only the question of your own resilience and defeat. Tears glaze your eyes, and upon your cheeks they flow like rivers cutting channels through canyons and deserts. They flood your heart. The canyons forced to live with the memory of that river that once breathed life through them, become being a monument to that one name once called. Grief and memories. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Ashley Mushaninga. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing his names correctly. That was such a lovely piece. Thank you for that. Last but not least, wrapping up our first round of the first preliminary Slam Africa round, please give a warm welcome to the one, the only Mr. CJ Slim.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Okay, let me just start. People say that a chicken often runs amok another chicken intestine on its beak. The public display of the innermost parts of its friend is testimony that a former colleague is no more. But apart from broadcasting this loss to the world, the town chicken is also celebrating the tragic event. Back to my test. Of all that are left, it seems only few write about what's wrong and right. It seems wrong and right have no difference because proteges and covers are becoming our today's reference. So let's please write about this fake industry and left this wrong group because that's what's right. Right? Desire for wealth runs down on our veins. Others, it's from obsession to pain, making Kenyans want so much for so less, turning our men from as cheap as corn to con men, making our obsession counter our fate, rendering it fake by giving us what's counterfeit, or is it what's fake at the counter? See, nowadays, anyone who eyes that phone moves closer to the iPhone, no matter how lightweight the pocket is. Counterfeit has conquered the African market from what we eat to what we dress. Our ladies' obsession of being beautiful has fooled them that nowadays we refer to them as beauty fools, running from one counter to another looking for cheap fake cosmetics from our con men, on realizing that corn is not the only thing that pops, because on the face there is join the dots. We Kenyans should support our very own trademarks to eradicate inferior qualities made or sold under another brand's name. Because developed countries have taken Africa as not only the sire of the dump, but a dump site, making our textile industries collapse, yet we still claim nchi yetu, fahari yetu, our country, our pride. Then let us show them there is nothing to hide. And if we must hide, let us use our own hides in designing our own clothes. And soon corruption will be a no issue to us. Invention will be praised. Success will be granted. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful citizens can change the world. CJ Slim, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Oh, yeah, I got it right that time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. CJ Slim, give him a round of applause. Now we have one final contestant for the day, and as he gets prepared, I can just give a quick shout out to the people I am seeing watching us live. Akinyi, thank you so much for joining us. I can see Kikete is still around. Geoffrey is still around. Richie Poet, Kev Nyabuto, thank you so much for tuning in wherever you are in your homes, your offices. It's Saturday, so I don't know. Overtime. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to have one final contestant before we wrap up the first round of the first preliminary Slam Africa rounds. The judges are still tabulating the results, and I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. Is it close? Did one person just take it hands down? Was it a landslide? We'll see. Kenya, I see you're having a good time. I'm having a good time as well. Usually I'm on the other end, just spectating and judging silently. But this time I'm the host. So I am the one in the hot seat. This time, Goofy, this work is not easy, man. I have newfound respect for you. Anyway, I don't know how much longer it's going to take for the final contestant to join us. I can't tell you his name. His name is he goes by the name of Keith. He's a poet, and yeah, I'm sure you guys are excited to hear what he has in store for us. Yeah, so Mr. Keith, if you are ready, the kind viewers and listeners are ready for you as well. Yeah. Well, you know they say poetry is true, so this is like a whole the rawness that you guys are experiencing. Some people are at their homes. We're doing this, without the just stripped everything down to its bare necessities. Just the poet and the poetry. It's exciting for me. I hope it's exciting for you too as well. Um, let's see. I don't know. I don't know how much longer it's going to take Mr. Keith to join us live. But as he prepares to, what has for us today, remember to, share the link with your friends, family. You can watch us on YouTube, Creative Skills. I think we are streaming on Facebook as well. So, you know, there are very, very many ways you can watch us with a nice hot cup of coffee in your bed as the amazing poets showcase what they have for you today. I can see Mr. Keith Babu is almost prepared. So, without further ado, the final contestant of this round's Slam Africa, the one, the only, Mr. Keith. This is me stalling. I'm not good at it. Mr. Keith. Not, not yet. But yo, you know what they say? Good things come to those who wait. So, the longer you wait, the better it's gonna be. So don't go anywhere. I think we're good. Are we good? I'm waiting for the signal. The thumbs up. Yeah. I think we're good to go. So I can remove my
Kuna dark. It's dark. Yeah, very. My heart is right.
Asante. Okay.
You can start.
Pose human waste. Hate buzzes down my legs, padlocked, enslaved to norm and society ethics. Flogged not seldom to character. Well, in my world, that is the only way to attain admirable traits. Recited religion to my bed pillow, now I dislike my neighbor, for apparently by their dress code, he is more of a threat than just a next door occupant. All he represents is malice. So yes, in a nutshell, that is my world. And did I mention the fact that I judge at sight? I prefer material over the heavens. After all, my life on earth is hell already. So I need some compensating. If you don't seem to move with my style, you'll be cut off before. So choosy of my colors, if not black and purple, then it's glitter and sparkle, then it's yellow. That dazzle, blinding. My offspring carries with it electric spark and the genetic acid. They probably need more salvaging than I do. They honor my words and step on my already marked footpath. To them, Daddy makes the day, and the day accepts making. Daddy's acquaintance is definitely a friend. On the contrary, the opposite is my biggest foe, although his petulant habits tend to push away than warn. In that case, I've decided to put on a mask, curved to detail, reference to disciplinary chatter in order to be a fitting figure under his roof. Thank you.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Keith Babu with his presentation of what he has was today. And he is the one wrapping up the first round of this edition's Poetry Slam Africa preliminary rounds. Please kindly give all our contestants a warm round of applause. Lexus Mshairi, thank you for what you have brought us today. Connie Mumu, Just Wairimo, Poetic Will, Ashley Mushaninga, Chioniso Tikisai, and CJ Will, and Keith Babu, of course. Thank you for that. The judges are now tabulating, or I think that's right, tabulating the results to give us what to give us the winners of the first round and who will sadly be saying goodbye to us today. But they will do that in a bit. I would like to thank, just take this opportunity to thank Cheche Bookshop for hosting us. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. Bundles are not cheap, man. Yo, unless you're on Wi-Fi. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. I think this is one of the best ways to do it, considering the weather outside. You can just cozy up with your loved one, with your friends, and enjoy some really nice poetry at the comfort or in the comfort of your own home. As you can see, I am in my private library at the moment. This is, yeah, this is, my place. Yeah, welcome, welcome. I have a few books here, as you can see. Yeah, Minim saw me, man. Minim saw me. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to keep you waiting for long. We're not going to keep you waiting for long. We're going to take a short break and let our judges take their time and give us the results. We shall be with you shortly. Don't touch that dial. Is what they say. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a man of my word. I am a man of my word. I keep my promises. We told you we will not keep you, and I hope we haven't kept you waiting too long. Although time is relative. If we are to get a little bit philosophical. Um, anyway, Richie Poet, yeah, nili realize nimesema tuko Cheche bookstore, and then you know, yeah. But again, this is my first time hosting, so yeah, these things happen. These things happen. Anyway, we have just received the results from the final judge, because the judges are also streaming in, watching the stream from their respective locations. We have received the results, and so, ladies and gentlemen, this is where it gets exciting for some, nerve-wracking for others, frustrating for the rest of us. The first poet, moving on to the second round of the first preliminary Poetry Slam Africa round of 2021 is. Do you want to guess who it is? Do you want to know? Okay. Thank you, Akinyi. Thank you so much for your vote of confidence. We need more people like you. We need, if cloning is ever to be perfected, yeah, I'm ordering like 100 more of you, because then I can kickstart my hosting career. That's what I'm waiting for. Anyway, the first poet joining, going through to the second round of this edition is Miss Connie Mumu, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Connie Mumu. A big round of applause for Miss Connie Mumu as she becomes the first poet joining, heading on to the second round. The second poet, yeah, with building up. The second poet heading on to the second round is Lexus Mshairi. Lexus Mshairi, ladies and gentlemen. And he will be, or those two, Connie Momo and Lexus Mshairi, will be joined by Just Wairimo. Uh, she has also qualified for the second um, round of this edition's Poetry Slam Africa. I have some great news for the viewers who are watching us from the rest of the continent and the world. Kenya will not be the only country being represented in the second round of this edition. We will also be joined all the way from Zimbabwe by Miss Choniso Sikisai. This is great news for me, because that means I get more practice in saying your name, and I'm sure I'm gonna nail it. I'm gonna nail it by the time we get to the final round. And she will also be joined by Mr. Ashley Mushaninga. So those are the four contestants who, five contestants who will be getting into the second round. So just a quick recap: Lexus Mshairi, Connie Momo, Just Wairimo, Ashley Mushaninga, Choniso Tsikisai. They will also be joined by Poetic Will. So, Poetic will be the final contestant who will be going into the second round. A big round of applause for our judges watching us from all over Nairobi and all over the country and all over Africa and all over the world, because we're international like that. Anyway, so those are the seven contestants who will be heading into the second round of the first preliminary Poetry Slam Africa competition to qualify for the Grand Slam that will be happening later on this year, where we will get to crown the king or the queen of this year. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, first of all, big round of applause. I want you, to join me in congratulating Lexus Mshairi, Connie Mumo, Just Wairimo, Chioniso Tikisai, Ashley Mushaninga, Poetic Will, and oh wait, no, there's one more, Keith Bubo. Keith Bubo will also be joining the second round. So those are eight contestants who will be in the second round of this year's and Poetic Will of this round's the second round of the first preliminary round of 2021. So, without further ado, I don't know, ladies first, or do we, you know, ladies first? Okay, the crowds, the massive crowds have spoken, and first, the first poet kicking off our second round will be Miss Connie Momo. I hope she is ready. Miss Connie Momo, whenever you are ready, take it away.
Mute my mic.
You're smooth like rain. In my mind, the way you dropped by was unexpected weather. But I was ready for you because I wore your coming on all my skin and it was divine to me. We started off like two kids in a playground, and all we knew was that the sun doesn't set on people like us. We found something so good, we stopped trying to be good. And now we're not where we were 2 months ago. I have questions. You have questions. Like, where do they teach broken men how to love again? And where do they teach strong women how to love broken men? Can I tell you something? Sometimes when you call me a strong woman, I feel like pulling out a resignation letter. Strong woman out. If strong means easy to heal and easy to recover, I'm sorry. I don't match that description today. I'm being sad, unwilling, and stubborn. I'm not being the strong woman you met, who could take anything. But you can't handle that truth, can you? So I ask you, where do they teach broken people how to fix broken things with broken hands that once held true love? Tell me, how does the grace to believe again sound like? Does it sound like turning your car keys and getting low vibrations from the engine 8 times in a row until it feels like it started for real? Because that's how I feel, like a car that got stuck in the middle of a long journey. This road is not being nice to me. Can I get a new map, somebody? Or is that cheating? Get me a coach or a marriage counselor now. I want them to tell me what the playbook says about succeeding in the middle, braving the in betweens. Because I might still stand a chance to stay in the game and win. I just want to know, can I reset and restart without feeling like an absolute failure? How do people embrace new beginnings if all they wished for and aimed to do was to finish? Hey, at least we started, right? That was courage. We were vulnerable enough to say yes in the first place. But I realize how yes isn't a yesterday thing. It's a today, tomorrow, and forever thing. How a three-letter word like that can start with a Y, continue with a maybe, and eventually a no, I will never know, you know? But God knows, right? God, I'm sorry. I'm talking to the wrong person because you, God, have an unmatched record of finishing everything you started. In fact, Jesus' last words on the cross were a statement of completion. Wow. We are imperfect. We're human. We make so many mistakes. So many. The good news is, you and I, we're still perfect candidates for God's workmanship. Somewhere inside all this brokenness, there is an irreversible blessing that will speak for us when we don't know what to do, where to go, or who to be. That voice of peace will have something to say when your sanity is raging, and it will nurse your soul back to stillness. Okay? Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Miss Connie Momo kicking off our second round. I can see Ronald Mushira really liked that piece. I liked it too. It was spectacular. And moving on, I can see the sun is peeking or peeping through the clouds. So some of the poets have decided they're going to showcase what they have for us today outside. And Mr. Keith Bubo, I see he is also gonna be. Oh no, okay. All right. Uh, Mr. Keith Bubo, I hope you are ready. Um, uh, Richie Poet, thank you so much for that. Keep watching and supporting the contestants from wherever you are. Ronald Mushira, thank you for that. I'm sure Connie appreciated. Um, appreciates the love and support that you people are showing her. And yeah, without further ado, we have a lot more poets for you guys to show some love and show some support to. So, Keith, Mr. Keith Bubo, whenever you're ready. So, real quick, you know, it's funny. I thought the lady and gentleman from Zimbabwe, their names are going to be the ones. Keith. It's not Keith Bobo. It's Keith Babu. So I apologies for that. But Mr. Keith Babu. Jamari, thank you so much for joining us today. Huge fun. Yeah. Anyway, Mr. Keith Babu, let's get back to the show. Anyway, Keith Babu.
My mother asked me why. You good now? My mother asked me why I love to write poetry. More so, why I always love to be on stage reciting over my lines. I gave her an honest answer. You know what I told her? To get girls. True, girls love poets. Never been in a Mufasa recital. That man would go over 2 full sentences without a girl somewhere in the crowd either yelling his name or just yelling. The urge to just let go of something. Whatever it is they always want to let out, I do not know. Don't ask me, I am not a girl. It doesn't even have to be a love poem. You could be talking about the craziest thing, like how torn your clothes are, even if they're not. You just decided to use that as a storytelling spice to cook up your poetry that will add to that. Regardless of the story, always get a reaction. However, please tell me, how do I explain my first experience on a poetry stage with that woman? I barely even got a snap of a finger, leave alone a stomp on the mat, a pat on my shoulder. It was all glares and stares that left me forgetting some of my lines. I thought it was supposed to be automatic. I mean, simple, right? Get on stage with the word poet and clip it on your chest, then subsequently get all the love the poetry world has to offer. I was wrong. See, girls love, but don't get me wrong. They love good poets. Good stands for someone who will have their adrenaline levels plummet and shoot uncontrollably over the graph, someone who will touch without hands, kiss without close proximity. Good stands for someone who will inherit a tight grip of their soul as they do the microphone, as they do confidence, cadence, rhyme, riddle, hyperbole, probably confused with imagery and picture painting, sizing of Fantas, orange like Fanta, Santa Claus caught the world's attention. and he's not even here. On stage, you have to be with her on every step of the way, that whenever poetry is mentioned, she can't help but mention your name in bold and parentheses of brain orgasms, climaxes that she can only reach by your tongue, utterance, and the dancing of your vocal cords. Mark my words, a good poet will dance on stage to match the energy of their audience. Snap fingers, Maya Angelou. When she rose, rose petals froze. The rain stopped to pay homage. The first row was on a roll. The middle reached for its palms to join the back row for a standing ovation. The end of that poem left your spine cordless. When I watched it, I had the same feeling, and I was not even born when she did that poem. That's how you know it's a classic. 30 years down the line, and I'm still like, fantastic. Longevity has to be there. The shiver has to be gone. Then just tell me, how could you be wrong? Girls love poets, and this is how I know it. I made a stage entry and the world collapsed for half a minute. Half my year, I've been a star in the make, like a flour wheel bake in the oven cake. Girls love poets, you're wrong. Good poets, for God's sake.
Alright, that was Keith Button. Uh, yes, girls do love poets. Not all poets, good poets, which I am. So, you have to pick yourself up sometimes. The world is not going to do it for you. So, you gotta come correct. We're gonna keep on alternating that way with the second in the second round. So we're gonna have the third poet is gonna be a female, Miss Just Wairimo. I hope you are ready, Miss Just Wairimo. Uh, I mean, guys do love female poets. So yeah, you know, balance, huh? Yeah, balance. Ms. Just Wairimo, take it away. I can see Laban Peace. Thank you so much for tuning in, Akinyi. Yo, you're my superstar for the day. Thank you so much for still sticking around. Once again, share it with your friends, loved ones, family. We still have a lot more to to go to get through. We're not even halfway through the second round, and it's already hotting up. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Miss Just Wairima.
Tick tock, tick tock. The night is dead silent, apart from your voice and the sound of the moving clocks. It's 3:27 a.m. and we are still up. You know I like late night conversations when we can be honest and vulnerable, but you've turned this into a monologue, and I am worn. I need to be up early tomorrow. Would you quit talking, please? No, don't say you miss me. I mean, you're in the bed right next to me. Can I start over? Tick tock, tick tock. The night is dead silent, apart from your voice and the sound of the moving clocks. It's 3:27 a.m. and we are still up. You know I like late night conversations where we can be honest and vulnerable, but I am tired and I need to be up early tomorrow. Would you quit the monologue, please? I am dead tired and I need to sleep. And don't say you miss me because you're in my bed, right next to me. But since you won't let me sleep anyway, how about I tell you something and you listen for once to what I have to say? I'll tell you something that's been on my mind for a while. We should break up, for real, this time. I am so sick and tired of our relationship. You are so toxic and clingy, never giving me room to breathe. You follow me everywhere that I go. And you are so full of negative energy. And quite frankly, you have never made me happy. Because of you, I've cried myself to sleep one time too many. All you've ever brought me is pain and misery. Before I met you, I was happy and bold, I was excited about life. I thought I could change the world. But because of you now, I am a shell of who I was. I don't remember the last time I felt a semblance of positive emotions, and now all I do is go through the motions. How did we get into this relationship anyway? I mean, you never give, all you do is take, and take. You took away my smile, my happiness, my sanity. You brought me grief that weighs on me heavier than gravity. Every time I try to do something, you're there to criticize me. You remind me how I'm not good enough and how I never will be. You keep me from doing the most basic of things. I procrastinate so that I can do them when you're not looking, but you always just show up to laugh and smirk at me. Why can't you just let me be? Let me live freely. I mean, let me give you credit for your memory. You remind me of every blunder I've made, all the opportunities I didn't take, every failure I've had, every bridge that I burned. I wish you would just let me be. Why can't you just let me be? Because of you, I no longer have a social life. Every time I want to meet up with my friends, you tell me they are fake, only sticking around to witness my fall from grace. You tell me that I need to be perfect to be liked, and yet you remind me that I have flaws more than 99. You always point out how other people judge me, how they'll never accept me. Now, every time I go to meet someone, I can't help but obsess about what they are thinking of me, whether they love me, whether they'll accept me, or if they'll just leave me. So I just shut them out before they can see through the facade that I put up, before they can know of the many nights I cry myself to sleep, before they can know of all the times I spend obsessing and crying and worrying and fussing. It's time that we break up for real this time. I did not sign up for this till death do us part. I need to live and I need to breathe. And you, dear anxiety, need to live. But knowing you, you won't let go that easily. We know. Thank you.
So I'm sure I'm not the only one who, throughout the whole piece, I was like, yo, that guy did her wrong. And I'm like, but yo, if you're not happy in your relationship, you just have to leave. And then when she flipped it to anxiety, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not the only one. I'm sharing my process of reasoning. That was a really amazing piece. And anxiety can be a pain in the yeah. Anyway, like I said, we are going to be alternating between male poet and female poet. And since we have just enjoyed an amazing piece from Just Wairimo, we shall move on to Mr. Ashley Mushaninga. Ashley Mushaninga, I hope you are ready all the way from Zimbabwe. Let's hear what he has to share with us this cold but still fine afternoon.
My piece is titled Seasons. I hate the winter. Man, I hate the cold. I hate how it seethes under my coat. I hate the chill it brings to my core. I hate how the early sunsets bring a reminiscent sense of missing older days. Somehow, it is the hue that tints the horizon, the orange filter as if we were where the embers reside at the end of the world, where the sun peeps up at me as it goes to bed. Way too early for you to be bunking up, I think. And that I hate more than the dark chill of nostalgia that soothingly creeps up my spine, always seeming to end its trip at the lowest caverns of my heart, reminding me of the silence in hedged pathways of friends too grown up, of games and pastimes too old for their young hearts. Man, I hate the winter. I hate the cold. I hate how its frost comes down to my core. I pity the moon and its solitude, dancing around a partner bustling with life, so dry to the bone that she has no tears. I pity the moon and the night sky, for in space no one can hear you scream, not even a whimper. And that forces you to understand your silence, to swallow it, to understand that only you can comprehend it. Like the blind people in the streets who commune alone, like the warmth that the moon will never know. I pity the moon and its solitude. I miss the rain. I miss how the scent of wet clay freshly floods the air, a better tell than the heaving clouds of the soon coming downpour. I miss the pitter patter tap dance of the raindrops on the roof. I miss the cool breeze best enjoyed with a warm cup of coffee and an open window. I miss the clap of thunder, the flash of lightning, like song and dance beautifully painted across the sky. That is a boisterous announcement that is neither spring or winter, but something beautifully in between. I miss how the dark clouds would loom overhead, ready to tell me of their tales once again. I miss how the lightning would dance across the sky like a pen striding across pages with no lines. I miss the thunder that breaks the silence of all, and the tap dance of raindrops that seemingly revives the dead. Like tears, it washes away the pain of yesteryear, the grief of broken promises and family lost to death's embrace, while it serenades like a sweet lullaby sang after long, tiring days, merging summer and autumn into transients defined. Like a good friend, the lightning will come back again, dancing across the same sky like it did for years, igniting fragile grasslands and woodlands, yet in this charred remains, life blooms again. Man, I miss the rain and how it and the earth always made an odd pair. I miss the man that I was before I lost the passion in the rain. I miss the rain. Man, I miss those muddy days. My piece is titled Seasons. Thank you.
I miss those days too. I definitely miss those days too, man. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for that piece. Mushaning and I hope I'm getting your name correctly. I can see I'm not the one who enjoyed that piece, but I can see you. It was spectacular. Anyway, moving on to the next poet, we shall have Mr. Lexus Mshairi. I know I said we're going to be alternating, but I make the rules. I can break the rules, but don't always break the rules. If there are any kids watching, follow the rules. But then why would a kid be? Anyway, I'm spiraling. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your warm hands together because you're cozy in your own rooms and bedrooms and couches, and please put your warm hands together for the one, the only Mr. Lexus Mshairi. Whenever you're ready.
Mama Milka. Milka Bonyo. Bonyo Waru. Waru Chipsi. Mama Milka. Milka Bonyo. Bonyo Waru. Waru Chipsi. Through receiver naangalia kiatu baba amevaa, ako vaji ya tears, nikimueleza ndugu alipata kazi alipata kazi kanisani, yeye ndio wachezea vyombo, anaifanya for charity, lakini Mungu atambariki. Lakini mimi baba, sijana umenisikia kwenye redio Tachika, juzi nimekuwa kwenye big screen, tuko sawa, salimiana nyumbani. Dad bana, ama acha tu, tuko sawa. Kuna vitu mob sana na wish ningesema, but then nakumbuka yeye na mama walisha apply party yao kutrace, wakagive share kidogo walikuwa nayo, wakiomba Mungu tafadhali wabariki, nataka hiki kile, majina zile wamenipa za kuniabudu, wangejua mimi ukimbizana na kazi za suluku, ndio at least nitimize mahitaji. Jina ni kubwa lakini hakuna ganji. Majirani ndio hao wanateta vile wamepika ugali kubwa, wakati room yetu haina hata harufu ya kitunguu. Jua nayo ndio hiyo inatua ikinukuu. Kawaida yenu wasanii, kawaida yenu bado hali ya mfuko inawashinda. Mama Milka. Milka Bonyo. Bonyo Waru. Waru Chipsi. Mama Milka. Milka Bonyo. Bonyo Waru. Waru Chipsi. Sometimes mimi ushuku kani itawahi graduate kwa hii life ya kuku, na kama hii sanaa itakuwa helpful kuniletea chakula kwa table, na kama pia itakuwa helpful kunipatia life stable. Anyway, back to table. Masinia wagani hao si chakula nao sani moja, sini wafiu. Inamaanisha that baada hii kung'aa kiu, itafika point silver lining yangu iwe deep. For now nijitahidi, nizidi, tuzidi. Mama Milka, Milka, Milka Bonyo. Bonyo Waru, Waru, Waru Chipsi. Mama Milka, Milka Bonyo. Bonyo Waru, Waru Chipsi. Kwa ndoto mimi ni star, nishaota naenda far, hata kaa kumekuwa na giza. Najua siku moja kutakucha. The future, hii hapa ndio definition. Sikosi ujuzi, nachokosa tu recognition. Ni kutambulikana, bana sijakosa ujuzi. Na nimekuja hii Nairobi tu jana, lakini hona vile sasa tunatambulikana. Vile tunatambulikana. Rabana naona venye unacheki tunatambulikana. Azo unanicheki ukiwa huko. At least hii jina itoshane na mfuko.
That was Lexus Mshairi, giving us a little bit of nostalgia with Mama Milka Bonyo, Bonyo Waru, Waru Chips. I don't know how it goes from there. I think it's, I don't know. Maybe Lexus can come back and then finish the rest of the song for us. Meaning say Bontao, you know how we do these things. Anyway, please give a round of applause for Lexus Mshairi with that very personal piece. Lazima, yeah, I see you, Geoffrey. Lazima jina itoshane na mfuko. Anyway, moving on, we shall have right up next Miss Choniso Tikisai, all the way from Zimbabwe, to share what she has with us today. So I hope you guys are excited. I'm excited to hear what she has for us today. So please put your warm hands together for Miss Choniso Tikisai.
Graveyard. She doesn't run a graveyard, but her DM stands for the dead men that tried to crawl back into her inbox, dirt caking their nails from the lost body they buried themselves in. Please, revive me, they beg, with lips cracked and dry. With a sigh, she breathes heavily and buries them back in the archive. See, she doesn't have time to entertain any ghosts. Too busy rebuilding herself from the valley of bones that she was left in to rot. No, this DNA is sacred. This body of hers needs love. This body of hers needs respect. If womanhood is a religion, then I am a believer. My body is the temple whose walls are made of gold, whose floors are polished silver. You should think twice before you try to run circles and games around a queen. She'll have you on your knees, confessing every sin you ever made in the presence of her name. Graveyard. She doesn't run a graveyard, but DM stands for the dead men that try to crawl themselves back into her inbox. See, her DNA is sacred. Her DNA is holy. See, DNA doesn't stand for deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA stands for do not apologize, and I don't apologize because it is in my DNA to be unapologetic. See, genetics. They fit on me like my favorite pair of jeans. Don't try to modify the skin. It is holy, came wrapped in a present like a gift to you, the gift of life. So the next time someone tries to ghost you, ask yourself, is this body haunted? No, it isn't. It already comes possessed by the divine spirit, the Holy Spirit, the Father, the Son on the cross, the only Trinity, the only threesome I will ever need. Thank you.
Miss Chioniso Tsikisai, that ending, I'm sure some of you really enjoyed that part. I did. It was one of the highlights for the piece. Laban piece, I do agree with you. Your delivery is, I'm speechless. You know, there are no words to describe it. Muringo Mbui, the poem and the delivery, absolutely amazing. Chioniso Tikisai, people are loving you out here in Kenya. I'm sure people are loving you and what you do over there. We shall move straight on, wrapping up the second round of the first preliminary Poetry Slam Africa of 2021. And wrapping up the second round is no one other than Mr. Poetic Will. So Mr. Poetic Will, whenever you're ready, take it away. Just before that, Richie Poet, I see you. Yeah, man. Amazing. I agree with you. Yeah. The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit is the only threesome I will ever need. That was just perfect. Mr. Poetic Will, whenever you're ready, the viewers, lovely ladies and gentlemen at home, are ready for you.
I'm a revolutionary in arms. Mikononi nina pad na pen. Hizi words zilishanipa uzito, so nataka kulisha hii masu kweli. Na juu ukweli inauma, nitawalisha truth hadi na kijiko. Na ngata nikipuliza niwachome na ukweli, alafu niwasooth na sound za acoustic kwa background. So ukweli ninajua. Najua mnangoja kusikiza ma punchline, ma word plays, ma rhymes kwa hizi lines. Mnangoja kusikiza nikicheza na maneno, ni change tone, ni change flow, rhythm ya piece na sound ka footsteps the patriots kwa streets. strings za acoustic zina play na drum sets ndio heartbeats. And so najua mnasikiza vile hii piece ina flow, but kwangu hii stage ni canvas, hii mic ni paintbrush, na hizi words na spit ni pictures na draw, hizi words na dig from my soul, hizi words na spit ni pictures na draw. Still najua after punchline mta snap na after piece mta clap, lakini hili shairi limebeba content heavy. Nataka muridin between the lines, content wasanii wameshindwa kushowcase ni usanii, sanaa ilishawakataa, so sahii wanatumia brand kusaka chapa. And so nataka backup nilimishe hawa wadhi, jua alisharibu craft na bado anadai tuwatii, wanajita established usanii wakati upcoming ndio wazii, si mlishatu brand kioo cha jamii. So mi na reflect words vina na mizani, hope nita change lives. Mi ni kijana niko na dreams, but usiku ni mrefu, buda lishacha mbegu ikiota, nataka ku make it in life, kimfuko nimesota. So nitapika lyrics, si lyrics ikiwa moto lazima piece ita hit. So nipe karatasi, nipe pen, niseti mbali nikuonyeshe vile mi ucheza kwa game, niitie best yangu mic alafu nipe stage, nipe mafans nipe sikio. Kwa umbali nasikia mafans wana chant tupe lines, see it na hepa. Nataka kuwapa content, lines mnaweza pata hata mkisikia hata blank paper. So nipe time niwaandike words ndio muridin between the lines. On the other side nasikia wasanii wakichant play Kenyan content, but karatasi iko blank, kuna malines lakini content hakuna. So mafans wako mad na wasanii wanaongea matope, na wish the established wangezungumzia mama mboga mwenye melala njaa, ama vile vijana wana opt for crime kwa mitaa. Nasikia kuna side fulani ya nchi madem bado anatahiri, na since nianze hii safari nimekuwa stuck behind the scenes. So nangoja breakthrough, probably kwa dreams za tomorrow. Hizi words zitanilisha, probably na expect too much, probably sauti yangu ni kikombe cha maji baharini, ama probably ni mob. So nasaka peace kwa hizi lyrics, peace imefika climax, stage icon hit, niko na joto so nitageukia mafans, niko na joto so nitageukia mafans.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is no better way to end the second round of the first preliminary rounds of the Poetry Slam Africa of 2021 than having an amazing piece by Poetic Will. Martin K. Mwangi, I see you. That was a great performance. It is tricky when you're performing online, but to have it feel as if you're right there, that's a skill that not many people can achieve. So thank you for that, Mr. Poetic Will. Laban Peace, I see you. You really enjoyed that. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the second round of this edition of the preliminary rounds of the Poetry Slam Africa. I hope you enjoyed it. There were some standout lines, standout performances. Muringa Mbui, Richie Poet. People really loved that piece. Let's see if the judges did. Let's see if the judges appreciated and loved that piece as well. Please join me in showing our appreciation for the 7 contestants who graced the second round with some amazing poetry, amazing delivery, amazing themes, all round amazing. I loved it. I hope you did as well. We shall take our second short break and let our judges tabulate the results. Then they will send them to me, and I will present the poets who will be going on to the final round of the first preliminary Poetry Slam Africa of 2021, vying for an automatic qualification to the Grand Slam to be held on this year. I am excited. I'm sure the contestants are nervous, so we shall not keep you waiting. Keep interacting with me. I can see there's some people some names are there, man. I can see Richie Poet. I can see Muringo Mbui, Laban Peace, Baraka Poetry. I can see Ronald Mushira. You were saying you hope Connie Momo ako kwa the next round. Yo, it's not up to me, man. It's up to the judges. She did the best she could. I'm sure you loved it because you're vying for her. So fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. Send her your love an appreciation, I'm sure she'll receive it, because human beings, we are antennas. Yeah, we are antennas. We receive the good vibes and the bad vibes. So make sure you have positive, good vibes. And she might make it through. You never know. Anyway, Martin K. Mwangi, unasema nipige peace, man. Hizo jo. Niliretire. It's my new career, man. It's my new career. Nimekuwa host. This is where the money is. Hapo ndio jina inatosha na mfuko. Uh, yeah, Richie Poet, I can see your butterflies. I have them too. I know who I'm rooting for, Stasema. I know hosts are supposed to be, are not supposed to be biased. Thank God I'm not a judge. I would hate to be in the position they are in right now. But yeah, fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. I hope you're sharing the feed. I hope you've invited, your friends, your family. Show these people some love, man. Show these people some support. I will go through the 7 contestants who competed for the second round. Of course, Nishataja Connie Mumo. So that was uh, that was the first contestant of the second round. She did an amazing piece. There was Lexus from Shairi taking us back with the Mama Milka and the contradictions. That piece I relate to. You're out here. People think you when you msanii mkubwa, but kimfuko, it's a whole different story, man. It's a whole different story. But siku moja jina itatosha na mfuko. We have just Wairimo with an amazing piece. We have Kioniso Tsikisai with that last line. That last line was everything. The delivery, the poetry. There are a few people who really liked that piece. We had Poetic Will, who just wrapped up the second round. We had Ashley Mushaninga, and we had Keith Babu. I got it right this time. I got it right. Yo, Keith, I got it right, man. Keith Babu talking about, girls do love poets, man. Girls, it's sad that I retired, but I'm hoping girls also love hosts. Uh, maybe you let me know from the comments. Richie Poet nasema nipige man, niliretire man. I apologize, man. Yeah, niliona I wasn't cutting it poetic field. So an amazing job already. So there's no need for me to lower the bar. I'm gonna set the bar high. Let's keep it that. The culmination of skill, delivery, writing that sorry about that. Technical difficulties. No, what you see what happens mkiendelea kuniambia ni perform. Hadi wifi yenyewe haitaki ni perform. It's telling me to keep things going. Anyway, we have some amazing news, man. We're just receiving the results from the judges. Results are still coming in. Results still coming in, like we said. Watching from different places all over the country, all over the continent, all over the globe. I mean, it's only right, you have Zimbabwean poets. It's only right to have, global judges. That's how we do it. Anyway, yeah, we have the results are coming in, and it looks like five poets are going to be going through to the third and final round of the first preliminary round of the Poetry Slam Africa of 2021. Keep those fingers crossed. Maybe your poet, the poet that you're supporting has gone through as well. For those who haven't gone through, we still appreciate getting this far. We still appreciate what you shared with us, and we hope that you will keep writing, you will keep sharing your magic with the world. You are serving a huge purpose. It's bigger than you will ever know, bigger than you, bigger than me, bigger than everything. We hope that by not going through the final round, it doesn't mean that you will stop writing. It means that you will just buckle down and come back stronger and even better. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we shall let me announce the five poets going through to the final round. Um, let's see. What do we start with? Yo, Richard Poet, Martin K. Mwangi, who I see Leah Kinyanjui, you're really vying for Connie Mumo. Let's see, maybe she made it through. Maybe she made it through. You never know. Anyway, the first poet going through to the third round of the first preliminary round. That's kind of confusing. I hope you guys get me. But anyway, the first poet going through the final round of this edition of the Poetry Slam Africa, who will be vying for an automatic qualification for the Grand Slam final, where, as you know, we will be crowning a king or a queen of 2021, is no one other than Chioniso Tsikisai, ladies and gentlemen. Chioniso Tsikisai, congratulations. You are the first person going through the final round, going to the third and final round of the first preliminary Poetry Slam Africa competition that we are holding in this virtual space. I hope you guys are enjoying it. So Chioniso Tsikisai, let's hear it for her, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I'm sure she's watching, so congratulations. Joining Miss Chioniso Tsikisai is Just Wairimo. So Just Wairimo, congratulations. She has made it to the third and final round of the first preliminary Poetry Slam Africa competition that we are holding. She will be joined, those two, Chioniso Tsikisai and Just Wairimo, will be joined by Mr. Lexus Mshairi. So, Lexus Mshairi, congratulations once again. You made it to the third round, and those three will be vying for a chance to be the 2021 Grand Slam king or queen later on this year in the Grand Slam. Remember, we will be having two more preliminary rounds coming later on this year before the Grand Slam final. Joining those three, joining Lexus Mshairi, Just Wairimo, and Chioniso Tsikisai will be Keith Babu. So Keith Babu, turns out, it's not just girls who love your poetry, the judges love your poetry too. So congratulations, man. That was an amazing job. You will be joining Mr. Lexus Mshairi, Just Wairimo, and Chioniso Tsikisai in the final round. And last but not least, the fifth and final poet who will be going through the third and final round of the first preliminary Poetry Slam Africa round that we are hosting in this virtual space, like we said, is one and only Mr. Poetic Will. So, Mr. Poetic Will, congratulations. You've made it through to the final round. So, the five poets who are going to be competing in the final round of the first preliminary Poetry Slam Africa competition are Mr. Lexus Mshairi, Miss Just Wairimo, Chioniso Tsikisai, Poetic Will, and Keith Babu. I would like to take this opportunity and thank Mr. Ashley Mushaninga and Miss Connie Momo. Thank you so much for what you have shared with us today. Thank you so much for the two pieces. I'm sure that you have won new fans who are watching from all over the world, all over Kenya, all over Africa. And we appreciate your presence. We appreciate what you've shared with us. Hopefully, we shall see you again, and we shall get to hear what you have to share with us some very, very soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the five contestants, they're ready. As they get ready, I can read some of the comments, some of the reactions. I see Leah Kinanjui and Darcy Kimari really wanted Konimumu to make it through. Unfortunately, she did not. But you can follow her socials and get to experience more of what more of what she does. She, she would really love. She'd really appreciate your support. I'm sure. I hope it will not end today. I hope you will continue supporting her and supporting her writing and her work. Dasi Kimari, I see the reactions, the claps. Moringo Mbui, you say congratulations to all of them. I'm sure they've gotten it. Darcy, I can see your disappointment, but I apologize. That's how things ended up. Lekin and Julie say congratulations to all who have proceeded to the next round. Uh, Martin, yo, K9, persistence, man, persistence will get you a lot of things, but it will not get you a piece from me, man. I'm sorry. We shall, but consolation prize, although this is not a consolation prize, because these five poets have made it to the third round of the first preliminary round of 2021. So you know they got what it takes. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kings and queens, gods and goddesses, and every other lovely person watching us, wherever you are, I would like to take this opportunity and kick off the third and final round of this edition of the Poetry Slam Africa. And we shall be, I don't know, who do we start with? Who do we start with? First shall be last, or last shall be first? Last shall be first. Mr. Poetic Will, I hope you are ready for us. Mr. Poetic Will, I hope you are ready for us. Whenever you are ready, take it away. Ladies and gentlemen, kicking off the third and final round, Mr. Poetic Will.
I've known of this world where none exists but me. It's a world of fantasy where anything can be, where imagination journeys across vast seas, scorching deserts and frost and freezing tundra, to a whole new world of fantasy where my identity is sanity, where I am caged by the keys are within my vicinity. See, it's dark with bright ideas, silent tears, hidden fears, fervent tears, all hell. It's a concoction of mixed feelings that come alive only on paper. You see, in this world, you're alone, but not lonely, because you communicate with your fingers and they put down the truth. My best friend writes letters to her brain. I write letters to my heart. And the last time I checked, this art came from the last three letters of my heart. I've known of this world where none exists but me. It's a world of fantasy where anything can be, where imagination journeys across vast seas, scorching deserts and frost and freezing tundra, to a whole new world of fantasy. For many, it's a world of wild dreams. For me, it's a world of words with lines and rhymes. But sometimes the weather in this world hurts. It's called a source of beautiful, melancholic creations. So I appreciate the snaps and applause. I really do, but you don't get it. The shoe that I wear every time on stage hurts. The twist and turns on my face is not a facade, but a reflection of what my conscience feels through each line. This shoe hurts, but I won't let it off, because, like its predecessor lived its story, I must tell it the same way he did.
All right, Mr. Poetic Will kicking us off. The only way we know how to do it, that was the first contestant of the third round of the first preliminary Poetry Slam Africa competition that we are holding. With I can see K9, you are sending your appreciation and big ups to the organizers, Creative Spills. They've done an amazing job, especially with the whole social distancing and the COVID-19 regulations that we have to abide by, safety first, the show must still go on, and on it went. So big, I would hope each and every one of you watching would join me in just sending big shout outs to Creative Spills and what they've put together for us today. I can see Mick Jr., Poetic Will. You really love that piece. Um, I can see Poet MK. Good vibes, man. Yeah, that's we specialize up here in Creative Spills and Poetry Slam Africa. We specialize only in good vibes. Richie Poet, sending you big shout outs to Poetic Will. Um, Muringo Mbuis, that was lit. I agree. I totally agree. Do the judges? I don't know. We'll see. Laban Peace, I can see you. I can see you. You also want to join the world that Poetic Will was talking about. Without further ado, let's go on to the next one, shall we? Shall we? I think we shall. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your hands together and welcome the second contestant who is vying for the chance to get automatic qualification for the Grand Slam happening later on this year is one and only Mr. Keith Babu. So Keith Babu, whenever you're ready, take.
I love all the Palestinian solidarity. Yeah, it's a t-shirt for sale.
Yes.
And what did the friends go for?
Kenya and Palestine solidarity with Palestine.
Okay. But what did they do?
They send it to organizations in school. I can't find a caption for this picture that I want to post on my Instagram. I can as well just post it captionless. Does it even matter? Who cares really when I barely have 500 people behind my back? People who know me, but just only behind a blue light device, a ton of filters that scrap off 75% of acne scars on my face like I even have one. I can't honestly remember what having a face really felt like for a very, very long time. What you see is what I let you see. You think you know me, you don't. I went to Karen for a birthday party and sleep over. You should have seen my backpack. It was as empty. I could care less if I forgot my toothbrush than to do my charger. My phone cannot afford to die. That's the time I breathe hard on my phone camera lens and wipe it twice as hard as if to almost shatter it. I need all these pixels to work in my favor, ladies and gentlemen. They have to. Unbothered. Immediately after we passed the Langata Cemetery, my accent changed. There were more R's in my wording and pronunciation than ever before. You gotta do it right, right? The night was over and it was back home. Home, where walls are cracked due to home-based violence fights that occur unforeseen in the middle of the night, floors that carry dust to choke visitors away. Home, where we don't even eat together at the dining table, as if there's one. What for? Home, where the ceiling roof bears spider cobwebs due to neglect. Home, where those ceiling roofs leak like water over a rock in the Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe to flood our floors exposing our children to bilharzia and water snails, which, by the way, are symbolic for just how slow development and growth is part and parcel of our home, where it feels alone. Most of you are listening because you relate. But the fact, or rather, the dream to make it out one day as successful, maybe make your home a better place than it is at the moment, is constantly on the fading away, as the home that you embody is just as broken. Your character has been compromised, eroded away over the years, leaving behind empty gullies filled with regrets, emotional imbalances, anger, hate. You don't particularly know why, but you just happen to hate everyone now. Gullies filled with blurred vision. To these drugs that once taken give you the peace that you need for 1 minute. Then when the effect is over, all you're left with is hangover, a pretty much shitty life, and still 99 problems. The only problem is there's not one thing left, which is not a problem. That's on some Jay-Z context. We are trying too hard. I am not an exception. That's why I said we. I just found a better way to beat down my problems. Not that I'm saying I'm better, but in a way, I think I am, because I do not do drugs to escape my reality. I face it as it is and pin it down till it taps out. God damn, it's a hell of a feeling. You should try it too.
That was Mr. Keith Babu. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Moving on swiftly to the third contestant. I hope he is. I hope he is ready. As we wait, I can see Daisy Kimani is still tuning in. Thank you so much. Laban Peace, Muringomboi, Richie Poet. We appreciate your presence here, and I'm sure the contestants appreciate it as well. Without further ado, I would like to introduce the third contestant who will be vying for a chance to get automatic qualification to the Grand Slam festival happening later on this year. Yeah, is Mr. Lexus Mshairi. So whenever you're ready, please, ladies and gentlemen, let him hear it, Mr. Lexus.
Abraham, come, nimepata ram. Wameficha kwa kompyuta, ulikuwa mtafuta. Sawa. Big Bang ilikuwa ajali. Kuna Jalali na kama yuko ni hii ama shi. Kuna mpango na maisha ya mi. Nina will ya free. Ukweli ni nani mi? Machine ya biology. Machine ya biology. Na basi mbona nina consciousness? Consciousness ni nini? Mungu hata mbona ni kuamini wakati pasi ya kunichorea wewe tu upendo alinitishia na jehanamu. Okay, hata nikikukataa ataishiaje bila Mungu binadamu? Si labda hii knowledge nakimbiza na sanamu Dawkins. Upande mmoja Dawkins, upande mwingine takatifu liko. Ukweli wote utoshee kwa akili fiko. Siko shua chenye niliamini ya 50 kwa 50. Swali ndiyo ansa ya swali na mkana alafu nasali. Hilhali si alikusaidia freedom ukaiattain. Basi inakuaje sasa uwepo wake ni uncertain? Basi bakia na certain. Mwambie unataka chenye remain of nafsi yako. Tuone kama uta receive. So una question ndo pate belief. Usinikaribie. So una question ndo pate belief. So ulitaka shika pazo. Anza aso. Chimba, himba. Roho Farao, bro. Hao wenye tulichagua maneno nao ikakuwa ni mimi walikuwa nahubiria, vitabu nikavikaribia, yangu dunia ikadandia perfect harmony. Kwanza pie kwa sky, malaika wangu akaanza kukrai.
All right. Sorry about that. Network ilikuwa imepotea, nilikuwa naitafuta but nimeipata. So yeah, amazing piece, Alexis Mshairi. Thank you for that. I can see guys in the comments really loved it. Geoffrey BV, I can see you're impressed by the man that is Lexus. I am too. Laban Peace, unasema una question you believe. Muringo Mbui, you are saying what a captivating performance. Yo, he was immersed in it. You know, the movements, everything, you know. That was stellar. I don't know if the judges agree. There's only one way to find out, man. We shall wait. But we have two more contestants, two more amazing female poets who are going to wrap the third and final round of this, the first preliminary round of the Poetry Slam Africa 2021. We shall traverse the continent one more time, one final time this afternoon, and please put your hands together for the last and final piece from Miss Chioniso Sikisai. Sikisai. I think I got the name right. I finally got the name right. Before she performs, I can see a few comments on Miss Chioniso Sikisai. Whenever you're ready. whenever you are ready. Uh, I can see she's having network issues. So as we wait,
Can we go back to the moment before I met you? The moment before I knew you exist. The moment before I knew I could feel like this, torn between misery and bliss, drowning in this dark abyss. Can we go back to the moment before you were in my life? Before I met you for the very first time? Before I got enchanted by your wondrous smile and got lost in those beautiful brown eyes? Most love stories on screen begin with love at first sight, instant chemistry, lighting up the sparks of their love that will forever burn until kingdom come. Though I've never believed in love at first sight, I call it lust at first sight. But with you, things were different. From the moment I first saw you, you took my breath away, and I was way in over my head. But nah. I'm just kidding. I didn't fall for you when I first saw you. There was no spark, tension, or instant connection. I didn't pay you much attention. All we had was just a decent conversation. But woe unto me because you would later become the object of my affection. Sorry, can I start again? Let me start again. Can we go back to the time before I met you? The time before I knew you exist? The time before I knew I could feel like this, torn between misery and bliss, drowning in this dark abyss? Can we go back to the moment before you were in my life, before I saw you for the very first time, before I got enchanted with your beautiful smile and got lost in those big, beautiful brown eyes? The best love stories on screen begin with love at first sight. Instant chemistry sparking up the love that will burn till kingdom come. Though I've never been a believer in love at first sight, I call it lust at first sight. But with you, things were different. From the moment I first saw you, you took my breath away and I was way in over my head. But nah, I'm just kidding. I didn't really care much about you when I first saw you. I didn't pay you much attention. There was no spark or tension or instant connection. All we had was a decent conversation. But woe unto me because you would later become the object of my affection. It was you, I slowly grew to fall for you. I admired how you were bold and unapologetic, how you lived freely without caring about what other people think, how you never upheld the status quo but just went with the flow. Can we go back to the moment before I first fell for you? Before it hit me that, yo, you're a sight to behold, and it's you I want to cherish and to hold, and it's you with whom I want to grow old. Can we go back to before I got excited to see your text, before I felt that warm tingling sensation in my chest, before I started fussing about what I was gonna wear, if you thought I was pretty? Did you also get warm and giddy whenever you knew you were going to meet me? Or was it just me living out a fantasy where you loved me? Can we go back to the moment when we had our first kiss, when I felt your soft lips on mine, and I was in heaven for having been touched by an angel? And can we not go back to the time when you later said, hey, you don't really want me, when you said you don't really want to commit? Can we go back to the moment before I felt anxiety and jealousy when I would see with people who were not me? Can we go back to the moment where I never felt any of these mixed feelings? Can we go back to the moment before I met you? The moment before I knew you exist? The moment before I knew I could feel like this, torn in misery and not bliss? Thank you.
That was just for women with our final piece of the afternoon. And wrapping up the afternoon, wrapping up the third and final round of the preliminary round of 2021 is all the way from Zimbabwe. I'm hoping the network issues she was having have been resolved and she's ready to share what she has with us. Please give a warm welcome to Miss is all the way from Zimbabwe what she has with us. To give Miss Chikisai before she gets on stage. I don't know if I can. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Creative Spills once again for putting all this together and combining, bringing together this amazing poets and all you amazing viewers wherever you're watching us from. I can see Kevin Koech, I can see Mick Jr., Darcy Kimari, Poet MK, and all of you who've been watching these preliminary rounds from the first round to the second round and to up to this point. I would like to thank Cheche Bookshop for allowing us, graciously to use this space. We appreciate that, and we once again we appreciate each and every one of you. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the final piece of the afternoon before the judges tabulate the results and give us the winner who gets straight qualification to the Grand Slam later on this year, Miss Chioniso Tsikisai. So I hope you are ready, Miss Chioniso Tsikisai.
Hansi, power to the people, but there's no power for the people. You've disconnected the cables, left us mentally unstable. How to pimp a Zimbabwean butterfly. Tese tirimahure, a Shona proverb. We are all hoes, being made to become prostitutes of identity, of our culture, not knowing our own language, crossing borders, trying to buy respect in a currency that most cannot understand. We have no place to fit in. See, if I welcomed you to my country, to my nation, you would be free to elect your own desires, your own hopes and dreams. So this is a letter to my son. Before you were born, I pray that you become the man God always envisioned you to be. Swag, she was a goddess. Independence is a state of mind and not a state of being. It is the inability to lose yourself or hurt yourself or break yourself, because truth be told, you cannot be without yourself. Swag, she was a goddess. And the only reason I use the past tense is because when she passed us, it was that tense to the point where we began to doubt the permanence of our own existence. You are beautiful inside and out. You are wonderful inside and out. And if no one can understand that, please stay out. Swag, she was a goddess. Welcome to the Democratic Republic of Chioniso, where the capital city is confidence and the national anthem is tolerance. And I pray that my son would live to see a better day. This is to you, power to the people, but there is no power for the people. Reconnect the cables, make us mentally stable. Thank you.
You have that. You have to let that marinate for just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together for Chioniso Tsikisai. Welcome to the Democratic Republic of Chioniso. That was amazing. That was just amazing. I can see Moringo Mbui. You said short and punchy. Yo, perfection, man. Perfection. Dasi Kimari, you're saying just beautiful. I agree wholeheartedly and completely. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no better way to end the first preliminary round of 2021 than with that piece. That's the perfect ending to a perfect afternoon. Despite the few challenges here and there, we weathered the storms, and we made it through to the other side with each and every one of you lovely people hanging on through it all. I can see Dasi Kimari, you said, yeah, thank you, man. You have to let that marinate. You don't just come in. You saw I left the logo on for a while. So you can kind of, just think about the piece and just stay there in that state. Anyway, thank you so much, all the contestants, all the 5 contestants, all this that competed in the third round, all the 7 contestants that competed in the second round, and all the 8 contestants that competed from the first round. I would like to send a big shout out to Lexus Mshairi, Just Wairimo, Connie Mumo, Poetic Will, Keith Babu, Ashley Mushaninga, Tioniso Tsikisai, Poetic Will, and each and every one of you lovely people who are watching us, wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, this is why we were all here. This is why, we woke up in the morning, bought our bundles, or, for those of you who have Wi-Fi, logged on, and experienced all the poetry from amazing artists. All of that was to get us to this point, a point where we get to crown the winner of the first preliminary round of 2021 Poetry Slam Africa, and the first person who gets an automatic qualification to the Grand Slam happening later on this year, who will later go on to vie to be crowned either queen, what is that? Queen or king, the Poetry Slam Africa king or queen later on this year. So I'm sure the judges were paying attention throughout all of that. All what the 5 contestants have shared with us in this final round. And now they have the difficult task of tabulating the results and giving us their winner, giving us who they feel should take this first preliminary rounds and go on to the Grand Slam later on this year. Richie Poet, I can see you found that absolutely beautiful. I did as well, man. It was just perfection. I can see Santana saying that was great. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for your comment. And yeah, thank you for being here, man. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you will. I hope you shared the stream with your friends and family and loved ones, and got them to experience the magnificence that is African poetry. Dasikimani says that is not going to be easy just picking one person. I know, man. I agree. It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be very difficult. I do not envy their position. I do not. I'd rather. I thought hosting was difficult, but turns out there's something a lot more difficult, especially with all that amazing artistry that we experienced. I can see the results are coming in at the moment. I can see the results are coming in. They're still tabulating the round 3 results, and yeah, I can in about a minute or two, we will be crowning the winner of the first preliminary rounds of the Poetry Slam Africa in 2021. I think I should take this opportunity to shout out a few viewers. I don't know. Maybe you guys, interact with me. Tell me what you thought of the whole competition. What you thought of the contestants. Who was your favorite? What was your favorite piece? What was your favorite moment? Yeah, let me know. Let me know. I am dying to hear your thoughts. I'm dying to hear, you know, what you guys thought of the whole event. I'm sure you guys are amazed by what Creative Skills have managed to put together, with all the restrictions, with the COVID-19 restrictions. They've still managed to pull off something amazing. I'm sure you guys can agree with that. Yeah, so let me know. I can see Moringo Mbui. Your fingers are crossed. I don't know who are you supporting. I don't know who you want to, who you'd like to take the crown for the day. Yeah, I think, and the results are in. The results are in from our judges, and I think I shouldn't keep you guys waiting. Just announce the what the views of the judges, what they thought, and their ranking of the five poets who competed. Laban, piece, you're saying I can't quite name a favorite because I've got a couple of friends who are performing. Yeah, I know that position. I know the position you're in. I have a few friends performing as well. But the results are in, and without further ado, allow me to announce the results of the first preliminary Poetry Slam Africa round of 2021. All right, so coming in fifth with a first round of 19 out of 30, second round of 18 out of 30, third round of 19 out of 30. Remember, it's an average. It's an average of what you got in the first round, second round, third round. You add that up and divide by 3, and the total score gives you your final ranking. So, coming in fifth, like I said, 19 first round score out of 30. Second round score, 18 out of 30. Third round, 19 out of 30, with an average of 18.6 is Miss Wairimo, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Wairimo comes in fifth with 18.6 out of 30 average score. Thank you so much for competing. I can see Darcy Kimani rooting for Chioniso. She was fire. She was. I'm waiting for that Democratic Republic of Chioniso to get launched. And it's goodbye, Kenya, man. Coming in fourth with, this poet was consistent throughout. The poet got 20 in the first round out of 30, got 20 in the second round out of 30, 20 in the third round out of 30, of course, with an average of 20 out of 30. Quick math. Coming in fourth with 20 out of 30 is the one, the only Mr. Lexus Mshairi. So round of applause to Mr. Lexus Mshairi. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Finally, we get to the top 3 of the first preliminary round Poetry Slam Africa of 2021. Laban Peace is saying, it is said if you don't win slam, you can always claim that you can't quite put numbers on words. Okay. Oh, I could use that because I never won slam. All right, thank you, man. Good looking out. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna use from now on. Yeah. All right, number 3. This is the top 3. It's the top 3. These are the out of eight contestants. They battled. They battled. What is it? 5 other contestants and emerged as the top 3 in the first preliminary rounds of the 2021 Poetry Slam Africa. Number 3 is Mr. Wait, is it Mr.? Yeah, it's Mr. With an average score of 22 out of 30. He got 21 out of 30 in the first round, got 22 out of 30 in the second round, and 23 out of 30 in the third round. Yo, if there was like a fourth or fifth round, you could have gotten up to 25. You never know. You never know, because there's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. You never know. With an average score of 22 is Mr. Poetic Will coming in at number 3. Mr. Poetic Will, big round of applause to him, to Mr. Poetic Will coming in third in this first preliminary round of 2021 Poetry Slam Africa. Congratulations to you. Now, is the top 2. Now, there's a debate on how to do this. There's a debate on how to do this. Now, bear with me, yeah? So there are 2 contestants left. 2 contestants left. Now, if I announce number 2, you already know who's going to win number 1, right? But then if I announce number 1, you don't give number 2 a chance to kind of, bask in the glory of coming in second. So how do we do this? Do we stick with the way it's always been done and just announce number 2? Then you guys get to fill in the blanks on who took this first preliminary Poetry Slam Africa round, or do we just go to the first place? I don't know. I can see going to the first place is in the board, so that's 1-0. All right, who else? Comment section. Yeah, are you guys reeling from the disappointment of not having your favorite poet win? I can thank you, Muringo Mbui. Okay, Muringo Mbui saying do number 2, then number 1. So it's 1-1. All right, so we have, one person saying I just announced number 1. Muringo Mbui saying announce 2, then 1. 1-1 draw. Second first. Okay, love and peace. Okay, so second first. One more person, and then we get to decide. We get to decide what's what. As you're deciding, it's a philosophical question. That's what I do, man. I pose philosophical questions, get you thinking, get you invested in the whole process. Fikrati Mamo Poet, you're saying, sup guys, where's Goofy? You just hurt my feelings, man. You just all this work and you immediately go to where's the guy who usually does this? That's cold, man. That's very cold. Bolo Blink, you're saying second first. Okay, all right. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna announce the second contestant, then announce who won the first preliminary round of the Poetry Slam Africa 2021. Dazi Kimari is saying just rip the band-aid out. I'm guessing you mean just go with the first one. But the people have spoken. This is the Democratic Republic of Roger, and where democracy, stands true. So, coming in number 2 with a first round score of 26.5 out of 30, a second round score of 24 out of 30, and a third round score of 26 out of 30, with an average score of 25.5. That's what number 2 got. Number 1, and once you hear the judges' score, you will realize why the one who won, who the judges deemed worthy of winning the first preliminary rounds, has won. They got, in the first round, 29 out of 30. In the second round, they got 30 out of 30. That's a perfect score. And the third round, they got 29 out of 30, making their average out of all those 3 rounds 29.3. So number 2 got an average score of 25.5 out of 30, and number 1 got an average score of 29.3 out of 30. That's hard to beat, man. That's hard to beat. So coming in second, Richie Poet, you're saying I give you number 1. I will give you number 1. But first, number 2. Coming in second with an average score of 25.5 is the one, the only, Mr. Keith Babu. Keith Babu gets number 2 with an average score of 25.5. So you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together for our first winner of the first preliminary round of the Poetry Slam Africa 2021, all the way from Zimbabwe, Miss Chioniso Tsikisai with an average score of 29.3 out of 30. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your winner of the first preliminary uh, round. Richie Poet, I can see you asking how many people get to go to the Grand Slam directly. I will confer with the organizers of Creative Spills and get back to you on that. Tioniso Tsikisai, I can see you are you have a few fans who were rooting for you. Dasi Kimari, I can see some celebratory congratulations from Dasi Kimari, from Laban Peace, all celebrating Chioniso's win. I can see Moringo Mbui, your congratulations, the rest of the team and all the poets. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining us today in this first preliminary rounds of the 2021 Poetry Slam Africa. Moringo Mbui, I can see you have a few kind words for Chioniso, commenting on how amazing her work is. I don't know if we can get her to share, damn, if we can get her to share a few words with us. I'm not sure, but I think she's already logged off. So I guess you'll just have to wait for you'll have to see her in the Grand Slam. Maybe she'll share her kind words with us then. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I have been your host. Hopefully it's a one-time deal, but we never know. I've been your host for the afternoon. I go by the name of Roger. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the crowd, because we have a crowd here. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Creative Spills, for putting this together. Thank you, Cheche Bookstore, for hosting us. You guys will get a notification on when the second preliminary round of the 2021 Poetry Slam Africa will be taking place. And if you are a poet and would like to compete, there will be an open call. Check back if she will be to right. All right, I'm back. Uh, all right, right. I can see Darcy Kimari is saying, thank you. I'm gonna leave this one up there. This is that's the last comment of the day. I know Richie Poet, you say Chioniso deserved it, but we're going with the hosting thing because I know I said it's a democracy, but it's more of a dictatorship. But masquerading as a democracy. But yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Muringumbui. Thank you, man. Co-side. All right. Thank you. You can hit up Creative Spills. Make this more permanent whenever Goofy is not available, because Goofy is an amazing host. So whenever Goofy is not available, when he's out traversing the globe, I can step in. Then we can talk about contracts and everything. So yeah. Chioniso, I don't think she's gonna she's going to be able to share a few words with us. Let let's see if I can if I can organize that. Uh, if I can organize that. If she'll be up to sharing a few words with us. I don't know, maybe yes or no. Let's see. Anyway, I was giving my thanks. I want big shout out to a few people I'd like to mention personally. Darcy Kimari, thank you so much for tuning in. Richie Poet, Laban Peace, thank you so much for tuning in. Muringo Mbui, thank you so much for tuning in. Martin Kemwangi, I'm sorry about me not performing. I apologize for that, but thank you so much for tuning in. And I think we can end it on that note. I think, yeah, I think that's a good note to end it on. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together one more time. Your winner for the first preliminary round of the Poetry Slam Africa 2021, Miss Chioniso Tsikisai. And I think that's it. I don't know how to end these things, so I'm just gonna, Roger. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. All right. Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'm gonna confer. There was someone who asked, Richie Poet, you asked how many people get to go to the Grand Slam directly. It's the top three. So the top three get automatic qualification to the Grand Slam happening later on this year. Just a quick recap who those top three are. Of course, we know the winner, Tioniso Tsikisai, 29.3 out of 30. We have Keith at number two with 25.5 out of 30. And we have Poetic Will. So Poetic Will, Keith Babu, and Chioniso Tsikisai, the top three, get automatic qualification to the Grand Slam later on this year, where they get to vie for a chance to be crowned Poetry Slam Africa King or Queen. I hope you guys are going to be joining us for that. I hope you guys are going to be joining us for the second preliminary round. I hope you guys are going to be joining us for the third preliminary round, and I hope you guys are gonna enjoy it all. So thank you so much. Once again, I have been your host, Roger. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I don't know if you guys can hear because it's loud, because guys are celebrating, and sharing the congratulations with contestants. But thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Until we meet again, Roger.